Taoiseach, yesterday the High Court heard details of a deeply disturbing case of child abuse. A 13-year-old boy who abused his 6-year-old sister was given a tablet at the age of 5. There was no parental controls on the device and he had totally unsupervised access to the internet. By the age of just 6, he was viewing pornography for hours every day. This boy ultimately uploaded child abuse images of his sister online, prompting his arrest. Sentencing the boy, Miss Justice Mary Ellen Ring likened unchecked internet access to children playing with matches. Taoiseach, details of that shocking case were being heard as Australia introduced its social media ban for children under 16. It's a world's first, and we'll all certainly be watching with huge interest to see how it progresses. However, I have a number of concerns about that kind of a ban. For a start, most social media companies already have an age limit of 13, and we all know that that just isn't being enforced. Raising the age limit to 16 will similarly be easy to evade, with teenagers creating fake accounts using fake accounts or VPNs. Crucially, delaying access to social media sites does nothing about the recommender algorithms that are feeding children toxic content. We now have mountains of evidence about the threats posed by these algorithms. One study found teenage boys were being, quote, bombarded with misogynistic content within minutes of signing up to TikTok. Another study found 13-year-old users being shown videos about self-harm and suicide within 20 minutes of setting up accounts. Social media platforms now routinely show graphic, violent or racist videos to people who are not looking for that content. This isn't just having a hugely damaging impact on children, it is massively corrosive for society. It is spreading misinformation and hate through communities like wildfire. Taoiseach, I'll be the first to acknowledge that this is a hugely complex issue and there are no easy solutions. I know the Minister is currently looking at age verification for social media users, and while I think that that is part of the solution, it amounts to putting a sticking plaster on a gaping wound. There are also huge privacy concerns about mandating something like a digital wallet to access services online. Taoiseach, I think each of us in this House knows that we have to do more to protect children online, and we know the current system is failing them. An obvious first step is to regulate the algorithms that boost extremist content to huge audiences online. By default, those systems should be off. Do you agree, and will the government act on this?
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
Thanks, Deputy, for raising what is a very, very important issue, and government is taking a whole of society and a whole of government approach to online safety, recognising the rapid pace of change in the digital world, and also the need for very coordinated, robust and rights-respecting responses. So that response spans regulation, education, parental supports, age verification measures, curriculum reforms and school-level policies. And I'm aware of that case yesterday, and I read reports in the media, or heard reports in the media in relation to it, and it does illustrate the enormous challenge and dangers here. I think overall, we do have to, through our education system, create a culture of strong self-esteem and self-respect among children from the earliest of ages, so that, and we have had to do this in the past to varying degrees in respect of other issues, be it addiction, drug addiction, alcohol and so on. The most fundamental way of assisting society to cope actually is through very good policies at an early age, or programmes from a psychological level which increase the self-esteem of children to withstand and be resilient in the face of whatever comes at you in life subsequently. But of course we can do much more than that. Curricular reform is happening, school-level policies and so on. And the Minister, Patrick O'Donovan, with Commissioner Mann, now have stronger powers. There are obligations around harmful content, stronger age verification for adult material, that is very important, risk mitigation requirements designed to protect children. At EU level, we're engaging. The digital age majority must be considered across all member states to ensure harmonised protections under the Digital Services Act. We're also developing a secure, privacy-focused approach to age verification, and we're working to include age verification functionality in Ireland's digital wallet under the EU EIDAS project. And also that's about giving parents and young people a robust government-backed mechanism to protect privacy. And a large-scale pilot is planned for early next year. We're strengthening digital wellbeing and online safety supports in school. We've updated our child protection procedures. There's a lot happening in education, to be fair. There's a digital strategy for schools out to 2027. The IDA Technology in Education provides professional learning for teachers, and WebWise continues to lead on national awareness training, classroom resources on cyberbullying, image sharing, social media, and emerging emerging online risks. We've also acted to reduce mobile phone distraction and support student wellbeing during the school day. We've introduced the full ban on personal phone use in primary schools and strict restrictions at post-primary level. I remember last year when the pouches were introduced, it was ridiculed in here. Classic opposition response, just ridiculed it. 462 schools have drawn down 6 million
Taoiseach,
in
time is
respect
up.
of that,
Deputy
which
Cairns.
shows that people have responded positively to the initiative. Do you know?
Taoiseach, this is something that governments all over the world are grappling with, and in many ways the horse is already bolted. Social media companies have been around for 20 years and they have never been properly regulated. So to date it's been self-regulation, which has amounted to no regulation at all. Now we're playing catch-up. One thing is clear, the algorithms are increasingly dangerous. Violent, racist and misogynistic content isn't just tolerated, it's literally boosted by these algorithms and making them go viral. So I recognise there's loads of things there in your list of things the government are looking at, but none of them were the algorithms. And a lot of them place the responsibility on the user, on teaching the user about safety online. What we need to do is address, as a very first step, as a very obvious step, the algorithms. Would you reconsider and will you look at this?
Deputy Taoiseach, please.
We will be examining all aspects of this, including the impacts and the use of algorithms to direct people to certain areas, and that clearly is an issue that, you know, both in terms of in terms of legislation that's already now in place and the powers that Commission and Man have, and both in terms of the Digital Services Act in particular, that we are in a position to hold platforms to account. The European Commission has launched investigations into these powerful algorithm influences, and especially young users online. So the European Commission is already working on that aspect. Yeah, but sorry, we're part of the European Commission, we're part of the European Union. And like the big row and argument between the US and Europe is, US think we're over-regulating. I don't think we are, but that's the US assertion, that Europe is overly regulating in the digital space. The Commission has been very strong.
Thank you,
and so has our regulators as well.
Thank you, Taoiseach.
We're part of a harmonised regulatory
Time is
framework.
up. Deputy Paul